HEYITSMENESSER! Ooh, that would be nice.
So, I might have a little something there for you as well.
Oh, I'll rap for you. I'll opening rap, do you know what I mean? But yeah, hello Bella, hello Kelly.
Hello.
What's poppin'? What's the crack?
Oh good, Bella's giving me looks. She's not too happy.
No, she wasn't. She just has like a weird face. Like she looks like she's just upset all the time.
I swear.
Little baby. Let me turn this off. Nobody's calling my phone. But yeah, we'll just say an opening prayer so that everything goes well this time and we're not doing this again.
Yes.
Because technology is not my friend. Like it really got shed last time. But you know what? Back and better than ever.
Yes.
Welcome to HEYITSMENESSER once again. You know, what did I say last time? I was like, yeah, you're the first white female on camera. So
yes.
I HEYITSMENESSER, you know, we're all about our diversity and inclusion. You know, we love that. Love to see a bit of differences. We even like all types of people, even dogs, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Bit of everything. Well, thank you. I feel very lucky to be the first white female on this platform.
Yeah, you know, we'll have we'll commemorate or something every year. But yeah, Kelly Darcy. We will start off, we'll just go straight into it, I guess.
Okay.
And you're going to do this again and you're going to hate it, but that's why we love you. So, Kelly, I could introduce you myself, right?
Yeah.
But I would not do it any justice at all because I would forget one of the 110,000 things you do. So, Kelly, you're going to do an elevator speech for us. You're going to let us know what you do, who you are, who's Kelly Darcy.
Okay, so I'd say a lot of people know me as a radio presenter on Hot Hits. We do interview podcasts with musicians, the Hot Seat. Let me see, playlist curator for Slight Motif.
Let's go.
Little music manager, do a little bit
Let's
PR
go.
work. So
Let's
yeah,
go.
that's just a brief overall of me.
Just a brief overall. Alright, take us, let's walk down memory lane. So your first memories of you working in music, aspiring to be, because you said you used to sing in a choir or just sing?
Yeah.
Okay, and you were aspiring to be a singer initially, right? Was that ever your goal?
I don't know. I was leaning more towards like the dance side of things.
Oh, okay. Performer.
But, like, yeah, just
triple check.
Stage.
I was screaming. So like, at what age and like when, like, what was your first kind of memories and like experiences with music, dancing?
Well, I mean, I started dance class when I was 3, so it's kind of always been in my life. And then I remember when I was getting older, I used to listen to like Spin a lot, so kind of be like listening to the presenters. You know, like if you went to a game and the presenters were there, and like, oh my god, like that's so cool. So I went and done work experience with them when I was in transition year, and like it was only a week, so you kind of got to see everything they done. And I was like, right, I definitely want to like be a radio presenter or do something. And then when it came to going to college, the whole performance side of things got thrown out the window. And I went and done music production, so I learned the whole like making beats, how to like put audio to film. We done like game design, all kind of background stuff like that.
Were you signing off beats to people, like beat packs?
I actually wasn't. We didn't like get to that stage, but I did have to make some for college projects. So I mean, that's as far. I did have one with what's Kel's your boy? What's he go by? No? Okay, well his name is Kelly George. So yeah, so I got him on a project in third year, and that is the only thing of mine that you'll be able to find on SoundCloud. But yeah.
What was your producer name?
I didn't have one.
So it wasn't any, you didn't have a tag or anything on your beats?
No. It was a struggle enough in college to try and like keep all your stuff together in one place. So I mean, yeah. And
you said the transition from like performing to like production stuff just came from a bad experience with.
Yes, so like doing the whole like singing and being in a choir and stuff, and then I entered into a competition, singing competition. And the final was going to be into Helix, and I was like, oh my god. And I went, I had all my practices done, had my choreography down, everything, and got up on stage, bashed out Adele, and
Adele,
I sang Adele, I swear. And
now you're ballsy for that, you know.
no, but there was it came to the end. It was a voting process, and it was like the people who were there for you, like they had to write your name down, put it in a box and stuff.
Yeah.
So like it was just my mum and my nanny that came to the thing. Like, so of course there was people there who got more votes, but then there were people who like were bad.
Yeah, and got
so then I was like, that just knocked my confidence.
Yeah,
I was
it's
like,
like if they're bad at night, that's true. Yeah, that's peak.
So yeah, I haven't sang since.
So after college, then you didn't really know where you wanted to go, but then you got like a chance to go on to Liffey Sound, was that?
Yeah, so that was a couple months before I finished up college. So I was going in to do work experience, kind of see how the station works. So I was sitting in on Luke and Live, which is just the weekly talk show. And then they were like, okay, we'll do a couple of interviews if you can find local community people, blah, blah, blah. So I was doing that on the show, and then a couple of weeks in, the station manager turned around to me and she was like, oh look, there's a spot there if you want your own show. And I was like, what? They're just being thrown straight into the deep end. And HEYITS was born then.
Yeah. And then at the start, it was you just basically making your own playlist, trying to bring more like diverse sounds. So like radio.
So it was just because of the like when you turn on your normal radio and you have Spin and FM 104 or Today FM or whatever, and you just hear like the same songs over and over again.
Jason Derulo in 2019, like come on.
Literally. So the whole thing about getting HEYITS up was like I'm really into like hip hop and Afrobeats and all kind of stuff like that. So it was just a matter of giving other people who have similar tastes something to listen to.
Yeah.
So that's how it started.
You're actually so funny, Bella. You're actually so hilarious. Because she does nothing like.
Yeah.
Okay.
So so we were doing that for a while, and then obviously like George was kind of starting to get his music stuff together, and then Trey Wavy texted me to do an interview. He had heard the show, and that kind of made me start to realise there was a lot of Irish artists out there. I didn't really know a whole lot about the scene at the time. Like I knew about kind of Jafaris and Tebby Rex and Soleil, but apart from that,
like the bigger
I
ones,
didn't know what was happening. So Trey Wavy came in for the interview, and then the more kind of I was paying attention to that stuff, or like interacting or seeing who was interacting with like my posts on Instagram and things like that, I discovered like there was a whole
like, scene there.
Literally, like it just kept expanding. Like it's still expanding to this day, and I've been doing the show for 3 years. Like.
Literally, I feel like I find a new artist every week, and I'm just like, I did not know you exist, and then I see that they have like a whole ass discography. I was like, where has this been like?
Yeah, but I think a lot of the artists are quite bad at like promoting their music. Like a lot of them just kind of think, oh yeah, I can make this song and then I'll just drop it and expect everyone to come
bounce.
Literally.
That's literally all that. Like, but do you know, like, because I talked about this in 2 episodes ago with some people. It seems like promotion is just popularity in Ireland right now. Like it's almost like the things that seem like it's good promotion, it's just because they probably like, you know, like really like popular people, but then they do music also, but not essentially that they're popular from their music.
It's like they have clout already.
Do you know what I mean? So it's almost like they have really good promotions, and then people like share all that stuff on Snapchat, share like on TikTok, share on Instagram and stuff. But it's like even the people who actually do try and do promote their music, it's almost like either there's no infrastructure for promotion in Ireland, or it just seems like there's just, unless a lot of people already know you, it's not. Do you see that at all, or does that make sense? Yeah.
I do see that a lot, but I mainly see that with people who don't try. But like, I mean, if people handle their promotion in the right way, like I mean, realistically, like you were saying, people who have attraction already, like the way you're going to get your music heard is by having a good like Instagram platform, by having a good following, having people who are going to share your stuff. So the only way you're going to grow that platform is by the way that you post, or kind of like how you interact with people. And like Instagram is so bad for this because of their algorithms. And it's just like changing.
Like even with me, it's literally it's making me not want to use the app at all. Like,
but that's like there's so many people I've seen over the past couple of weeks being like, oh, I'm shadow banned, blah blah blah, and it's like you just need to switch up your strategy. So you need to understand what way the platform is working, and then use that to kind of post your advantage.
And sometimes just posting frequently is the way you break that, because it's like if you're posting every now and then, like people won't be interested. But it's like the more frequently you post, the more interested people become. But like, I think it's so interesting to see how things like that will change in Ireland, because right now it's definitely, from where I see it anyway, it's definitely the more popular people seem to have promoting down. But I don't really think it's promotion. I think they're just popular and they're able to get people to actually do what they want. Because obviously, I think I mentioned this every single music interview, but people say that there's a problem with support. Do you know what I mean? But it's weird because there's support there for people. Because even George's one, we talked about it, it's like certain people just seem to have a flock of people supporting them, and then other people, regardless of how good the music are, regardless of how hard you try, because some people do try on the promotion front, it just seems like they just don't get anywhere. But back to anyway your timeline. Trey Wavy reaches out to you with regards to interviews. Was he your first proper interview on?
He was the first music proper interview I've ever done.
And that was 20 minutes at that stage, was it? It wasn't yet an hour.
Yeah, because it was still during the show.
Yeah.
I can't remember if we did 20 minutes or if we ran for the full hour of that. That is up on Mixcloud if anybody wants to go back, but I mean it's probably not relevant at all now, because I know he's released EPs and stuff since then. Because back then when I had an interview, I was kind of okay, we'll come in and we'll let it run for the hour if it runs, if we've stuff to talk about. If not, we'll cut it off after, because the show is divided up into 20 minutes, so it's 3 20 minutes. So I was I'll let it run if we've stuff to talk about. If not, we'll just cut it off. I can't really remember how long it went on.
Sure, we'll take a look and I'll stick it in the description. So even then, let's jump to the management side of things. That's something I've recently only found out that you did. Because even last time we spoke, you mentioned that sometimes people think that they want a manager, but they really just need a PR person.
Yeah.
So initially, kind of just differentiate for the listeners.
So
not me, because I know everything gang. Do you know what I'm saying?
A lot of people, when they come to look for a manager, they can have different ideas. So a lot of the times they'll come to you and they just want the PR side of things, like you were saying. So that's just you kind of then doing up the press release, getting the press pack together, sending that out to radios, platforms, all this kind of different stuff, and getting the song or the project attraction that way. And then the real kind of sense of a manager, some of them will do that for you, some of them will find PR companies to do that stuff, and then they'll also kind of manage your life. It's the same as nearly a manager at work, getting everything together, and telling you what you should be doing, and this is a good idea and this is a bad idea. So I think there's a big difference with that, and I've noticed there's a lot of, everyone's gonna attack me for this, but there's a lot of guys out there who want to just put manager and entrepreneur in their bio just for status. Do you know what I mean?
CEO.
But realistically they do nothing.
Yeah, that's mad. Yeah, I've seen certain places where I see that it's done really well, and I feel that's probably what's missing, because I said, there is a huge amount of talent and definitely promotion. I think management of people are different. I feel where I've seen it really done really well is the likes of A92, for example. The promotion side is there, but it seems they do have a management behind them that's obviously looking for different opportunities for them, because they've done nearly every freestyle platform in Ireland and the UK that I can think of, and even more that I didn't even know were there, or even still relevant. So those things, they go by popularity and stuff, but they also go by PR and stuff. And unfortunately, I hate kind of relating things to things that are in UK, because that seems the cheat code for people who are trying to get better, because there really is no equivalent. There's New Era TV, there's Bars at the Set, if that's still a thing, there's Dare Fact TV, do you know what I mean? But they're not fully equivalent to the masses, do you know what I mean? It's nice to have them on those as well, but I don't really think that people see them as equivalent.
Yeah, I feel it's because they're not at the same level.
Oh, no,
yeah, if you think about the scene over in England, they were underground up until only a few years ago, really. You had GRM, you had Link Up. There's still another few kind of that are still quite underground at the moment. And you need to think it took them time to grow, and it took time for grime and drill to kind of start taking off in order for those platforms to take off. So, like, yeah, we have the likes of New Era, we have Created an Era, we have Dearfact, like, we've all our platforms out here. And they are doing a lot for the scene.
No, but do you know even another thing is that I feel like right now the scene is supported by artists. I feel like there's more people making obviously not because that doesn't make sense, but it almost feels like there's more people making music than consuming music.
100%.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like, I think like until that changes, the promotion's not going to make a difference. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like a thing where a lot of these things are being put out there, but it's really only a small percentage of the whole island that's listening in the first place. So it does make sense that you have to go over to Blow and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? But talk to me about some of the artists that you manage. You mentioned you've maybe one or two or three.
So I have 3 at the moment, and then I'm doing kind of like PR work for other people. But the artists that I'm managing, I have Fortune Igibor. He is a young lad who is just, I don't even know where he gets his creativity from, like the aesthetics and everything. Like, I just have to give him a small little idea. He often has the ideas himself, and it's like, oh, well, maybe we could do this, and it's done. Like, his focus is crazy. We have Mazzy, who is a female singer. She released a song called Faded last year. She's taking a little break at the moment to try and kind of get a few bits together, but no doubt she'll be back in a bang soon. And then we have Ari.
Oh my goodness.
Or as he's gone by
Oh
now.
my goodness. I'm going to see him tomorrow and I need to know what's going on.
We need to find out because he's had a name change.
Yeah.
So he's now gone by Raphael Imam. So we need to. But he's not releasing music either. So I mean.
What the hell, man?
We need to. Everyone out there that's watching this needs to.
Big Raphael Nadal head ass. Like, the hell? I'm so upset. I'm so upset because I was so happy when he was manager when his EP dropped.
Yes.
I was so.
That was one of the first things that we worked on. So
Yeah.
we started managing him a few months before that. I think we had a single. I think we had one single and then we had the EP and then he just kind of like fell off the face of the earth.
Yeah, I think COVID stitch definitely did not play well with him. But talk to me about management. Like, how are you finding it? Like, what are the processes you take like each? So, for example, if someone is listening to this and obviously you have a lot going on, but if there is someone who potentially wanted to get a manager, what should they look out for? Or if someone wanted you to manage, what would they be expecting from you?
Well, like I was saying earlier about the different kind of things that people want, like, I mean, the way that we've done it before, like, I kind of started doing this stuff with George when he was releasing music because he started releasing and he was just going to put his stuff out there and I was like, no, there's no
Here's
way.
music.
Like,
is this thing on?
So I was like, look, this is your product, you're trying to sell your product.
Yeah.
How are we going to go about doing that? And he's like, well, I've just made this song, like I just
it's good.
Put this
They're
there.
finna hear it and like it.
Yeah. So kind of getting him like figuring that all out, and then like his first year was insane as well. Like he played Electric Picnic, he got all these crazy gigs. So it was kind of looking for different opportunities for him. And like at the time it was like he was my boyfriend, I wanted him to succeed and excel and do well and all that sort of stuff. But then like you know how it is, things being difficult and whatnot, so I was working with him and then I wasn't working with him and then I was working with him. So I think kind of from doing stuff like that with him to then one day Fortune found me on Instagram. He was like, can I call you? You think that you'd be a good manager for me? And I'm like, that was so strange because I hadn't even like been.
You're right, I would be a good manager. You're right.
And he was like, I don't know what it is, I just get a vibe off your page that we could work well together. And I was like, look,
shoot your shot, guys. In this life, shoot your shot. If it's a job, music, gal, man them, everything, shoot your shot.
100%.
Unless it's me and I don't shoot your shot. I'm
DMs.
awkward, man. I'm so awkward. Don't talk to me, bro. But yeah, so he just basically just like saw something in you and then
I don't even know what it was. Like I couldn't even tell you what was on the
I'm
page
really
at the time. So he rang me and he was like, look, I've been doing music for a while and I just have a few bits I want to do this year. So same as what I do with artists, but he was the first one. I was like, look, let's kind of take it in chunks. So let's look at this year. What do you want to achieve this year? What's on the radar? So we wrote down like songs he was going to release, if he was going to release albums, gigs that he wanted to play, venues he wanted to play, if he wants to do collabs, kind of like small bits like that. and we kind of just worked from there. So it's just a matter of like figuring out what the artist wants to do or what the goals are, and then if you are able to help them achieve them goals.
Yeah, and if it's like attainable.
Yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned helping out George and all for a bit. Like, obviously going out with someone and trying to manage them is probably not a good idea, right?
I wouldn't recommend it to anybody.
How did you find that? Like, how have you been trying to like balance that? Because a lot of people obviously come into this game with their friends and stuff like that, and it seems like sometimes it's a good idea, and obviously sometimes it works when they're on the same page, but a lot of the times you could be doing a double homicide and like ruining a friendship and ruining management and stuff. Like, was there anything you learned from that experience, or anything that you could share to other people who would be thinking, obviously as they're starting, they're surrounded by friends and family, other people who want to help but may not be able to either make the decision to tell them, yo, you're whack, or like just not figure out to balance?
I think it's kind of like all parties knowing what like the end goal is going to be. And I think it's knowing if they're going to be able to support you, like they're not kind of just hanging out with you for the sake of hanging out with you, or they think like they're going to get clout now because you're doing whatever, or they're going to get free into this show, or like stuff like that. And then I think it's staying focused, so trusting the process and staying focused on the goals that you've made, because there are going to be people and there's going to be labels and stuff that are going to come after you and be like, I can offer you everything and just sign your life away, and it's like, no,
don't sign a 360 what's it called, contract, you're finished.
But it is so easy for artists to just be blinded by that, because I mean, when someone comes to you and they're offering you
of course
fame, or they're offering you
all of this right now, like you don't know what is, you don't know what's coming, like
you're not even going to read the fine print, you're just going to be like, fine, take it.
Sometimes people don't even know how to read the fine print. Like, do you know if there's anything like that in Ireland, like for artists or like musicians, anyone going into music, to kind of understand the business side of music, or is that something that you have to learn in college, or is it something you can learn through without learning? Because obviously you can learn through experience, because I've heard Hair Squad talk about you know that man there talk about it a lot, where at the start of their career, like they blew and they almost had to take a step back, and there's a lot of things they learned that obviously help them business wise now, but would have been nicer if they knew sooner. Do you know if there's any like resources or anything that people go to?
As far as I'm aware now, I could be wrong on this, there isn't. It's kind of a learn as you go. I was at a music conference a couple of years ago, and there was one guy there who does all like the copyright cases. So he had done like the Robin Thicke and Marvin Gaye case, and he had done like Eminem cases and stuff, and he was like the only one of these in the world, and now his son was being one as well. So that was kind of like, that's a bit mad, because if you think about the amount of songs that are out there and the chances of copyright,
it's a monopoly, like
now when we were in college, we did have to do a law module, but like none of it was skewed towards music. It was just
in general type thing. It's like, this is like contract law, this is company law, here's like your case studies, and it's like, it's just weird. Like even seeing, I've seen like a lot of posts, like Ireland is really just out of tune with like just young people's stuff, just anything, just anybody under, I want to say 25s, but I feel like even 30-year-olds and like 35s, and like I feel like that's even included. It's almost like it's such a struggle to do anything creative and to do it properly, and it's like, if you blow worldwide, you get all of those, but I don't even know much about those people worldwide. It's almost like they're Irish artists, but they're not, like they're not part of Ireland. Do you know what I mean? They become big and then they just leave, so that's above our kind of urban scene type thing. But like, it's just, I think it's crazy because everyone's just kind of learning as they go, and it's like everybody in it right now is quite young, and they're gonna have to be the people to figure out what's going to be next.
The only thing I will say to people, like while we're on this topic, is do create your own contracts. Like, I have had artists who have gone on platforms and the platform has sent us contracts to sign, like outlining their rules. We've done collabs where we've had to like create a contract of whatever the division is of the royalties and stuff like that. So to people out there, I know it may seem like, oh sure, I'm working with my friend, or I'm working with this person, blah 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 blah. Like, you don't know what's going to happen 5 years down the line. Like, you may not be friends anymore, and you may be like, well, where's my portion of whatever it is you're after doing? So I think definitely we need to get rid of stigmas of like having contracts and having to sign stuff, because it just works out better for everyone. Like
that's mad. That's nice to know. Yeah, like I'm liking the way where this is going. Like I do feel like I'm not an artist. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, clearly, but there's a couple of bars in that like.
I was just about to say, I'm not giving you much longer before.
I'm trying to lay down the bars. You get me? But people, the haters have been talking, so I just want the haters to pile up because you know they're my motivation. Do you know what I mean? Well, I'm joking. But it's nice to like to know little bits and bobs here and there because like it is a business. It's like it is a hobby, but I think like the more people who have an idea about it, the more people can go into it with knowledge and how to do it properly, and that way, that's better for everyone else. You know what I mean? Because it's like the scene needs to grow for individuals to go. Like even if individuals are doing well, like there's only a ceiling, there's only a cap that they can ever reach on their own. You know what I mean? Without bringing other people with them or being with other people. But that brings me into our next topic. Then would be. So we've talked about Hot Seat, we've talked about Liffey Sound. So Hot Seat, Hot Hits, basically the same thing, right?
More or less. Hot Seat's just the interview side of things.
And then Hot Hits. And you said basically like people can send in their media packs or what's these?
Yeah, so your press release, press pack, EPK, whatever it is. There's my email is like all over the internet, so like literally just drop me an email with your info, your songs. Make sure you have clean edits, please.
Yes, I always used to put that in your story. It's funny.
Yeah, because a lot of people send songs and they expect me to like put it, and I'm like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. So yeah, if you're an artist and you have new music and you want to try get it out there, hit up Kelly over here, KD Hits. What's it? Hot Kids.
Katie.
Hot Hits Kid.
Oh no, not kids.
Hot Hit Kids. So you've done the Hot Hits, you've done the Hot Seat. You also you said like SoundCloud curator, playlist curator for Slight Motif currently. And that's what Simon Weekly.
Yes.
That's only quite recent that you've been doing that with them, right?
Yeah. So I started with them in when was this? According to my account for the website, I started in February this year. But I think there was one or two that I had posted. I think it could have been like towards the end of last year.
Yeah.
So I remember Bounce contacted me in kind of like the end of the summer last year to kind of get things going. So yeah.
That's cool. And how have you been finding those? You said that they kind of nearly overlap with the Hot Hits sometimes, is it?
Yeah, well I suppose Hot Hits makes my life easier when it comes to the playlist because a lot of the stuff has been sent in to me for the show. So it's like you have your new music there anyway instead of going rummaging looking for stuff.
And a lot of the times people send it to you as well, so you don't really have to go.
Yeah, exactly. So it's nearly all there. But yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what I love about you, right? Is that you do collaborations with nearly every like aspect of the music scene. And I think that that's really needed. Like it's so nice to see. Yeah, you're doing your own playlist, but like you are also doing another playlist because the people that maybe listen to you on Hot Hits may not necessarily, or the people that listen to you on Slight Motif may not necessarily know that the radio is there. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, and vice versa. And it's nice to have multiple ways of doing things, multiple like mediums for people to be looking at things, and obviously with working with other people. Like you said, every time you kind of go into one thing, you find out there's like blossoming of so much more, and it's like even Slight Motif, obviously like they do amazing work with the magazines and even other stuff that that was so funny, man. Sorry. Even other stuff that like will be coming out later. So that's like I think that's what the scene needs. Like it's nice seeing that collaboration, not just I'm doing my thing here, I'm doing my thing here, and it's like seeing artists come together and just do different things, and even not just artists, people who are trying to build the scene as well, you know. But even talking about building the scene and giving people like their credit and stuff like that, you also do the Snow Globe Awards.
Yes.
Started that 2 years ago?
Yes, 2 years ago. We've had 2 shows. I think like my whole thing with this, right, like the cringiest thing ever when I kind of started to get involved in the Irish scene, probably I always say my end goal is to be like 70 or 80 or hopefully I live to that age, but like whatever, and be in like one of the people who got the Irish hip hop scene going.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So the purpose of doing the Snow Globe Awards was to give back to the artists.
Yeah.
Because like discovering so many people that was out there that had been doing it for such a long time and had been putting all the effort into like getting their visuals, recording their songs, like doing all that sort of stuff, but then they just get nothing.
Yeah.
So to have an award show to say, okay, well, you are being seen and there are people out there who's listening to you, and then here's a little something to give back to you.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, like from your aspect, and that's your objectives for it, do you find that you get the same reciprocation from artists and people in the scene to it, or is it something that's not yet appreciated for what it is you feel by some people?
I feel like it varies from year to year, and there are some artists out there who think that they're too big to kind of want to go along with stuff, or want to give you the time of day and all that sort of stuff. But like, I mean, they're still going to be included if they're included, you know what I mean?
It's very objective, right? It's what's good is good in Ireland.
Yeah, so there are a lot of people who would end up on the list, or who would be in with the chance, or like in for when we're doing the votes and stuff, and a lot of them would like really want to get involved and thank you and blah 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 blah, and then there's other artists who won't even bat an eyelid at it. So I think it is still in the growing phase. We were going to bring it to life last year, but COVID shut us down. So hopefully we will be coming to a space near you soon.
Fingers crossed. Keep an eye out for that. Hopefully it does. You are able to do that, because, like I said, it's something that you'd want to see. You know, it's like even with like GRM Gala Awards. Is it Gala? Is it GRM Gala? Is it Link Up Gala? Do you know the UK Gala?
Yeah.
So they had their own one, and then they had the Rated Awards as well.
That was GRM did the Rated, was it? They only did
GRM did the Rated Awards, but a couple of weeks ago there was like a gala, where it's basically like the Met Gala, but like for UK artists and stuff like that, or for UK personalities. So it's like nice to see that, because unfortunately it is a bit cringe to start, but it's something that until we acknowledge ourselves, we're always going to be looking somewhere else, you know what I mean, to always keep doing that. And like, as much as we are at the very early stages of an institution and industry, stuff like that, like, it is good to learn from the others. Like, England is literally right there to learn from. Like, fair enough, we should at no point in time compare where we should be to where they are, but at least like we can definitely skip some steps that they didn't need to do. Like something that like their scene probably took maybe at least 15-20 years at least,
do you know
what I mean, to get going. And we're maybe about 7 to 10 years in, but properly 5 years. Because there's been a lot of artists that have been around for a while, but the industry itself, I would say maybe 3 to 5 years. You know what I mean?
But that's the way you were saying there about kind of looking towards England to skip some steps. I think that at the stage that we're at the scene now, we have already skipped some steps. Do you know what I mean? But like, I mean, seeing different platforms pop up to support and to be able to give the scene what we need. Like, even when I'm doing press releases for artists and when I'm sending them out, like, I only have a handful of stuff that's like actually in Ireland. Then I have to branch elsewhere for like publications or like radio play. We've a lot of radio and stuff here, but when it comes to like your publications and like your interviews and stuff like that, there's not a whole lot.
Stuff.
You know?
Because there's more artists than there are fans, and that's one of my biggest goals with this. It's like to put other people's faces there. Like, if this is a place where you come to find new people, or from here find other people who will help you find whatever, because it's like, until we start, and it is hard because sometimes music is not always 100% there, or it's at its early phases, but there are concerts to go to, there are festivals now, like there's so many things in the ways that you can like, if you really do care and want to care, if there are ways that you can actually support the scene and authentically like support the scene. Because it's like, I find sometimes for me, and sometimes I just found that I just listened to some people because they were Irish, but until I actually enjoyed it, and then like I'm actually Campaign Happy House is a headline show, I want to go and see that. Do you know what I mean? It's not just a case where I feel like I'm wasting my money, and it's nice, you know, that people go on Ticketmaster at the like time of release, like you would for any other artist. You know what I mean? To go and like buy it, and it's nice, and it's always nice being part of an artist's journey as well. You know, when they're underground and they blow and whatever, it's always cool to have that as well. But Kelly, it's been amazing speaking to you. I think we've pretty much touched on everything. Is there anything else you wanted to plug, touch on, speak on?
No, just keep listening to Hot Hits every Saturday. I will be getting back to my interview soon. We did take a bit of a break over summer. The last interview I done with Gifto is out on like Spotify and all those kind of streaming sites. But the YouTube video for that one is coming soon, so sorry for the delay. But yeah.
No, last thing I actually forgot to say. One of the reasons also where I respect y'all, like being a woman in a male dominated sector is not an easy thing at all. Like I know, and it's like you seem to have held your own. You seem to have a lot of respect from other people, which like I think is quite amazing, and I think that's a credit to you and the work that you do and like the integrity that you put into things, because sometimes guys can gas something, but you know that they're just doing it because you're a girl. Do you know what I mean? It's not an authentic thing. So to see people reaching out to you, to see people like looking to you for information and looking to you for like inspiration and stuff, I think that's pretty cool. And you should be like proud of yourself, and that's like one of the reasons why I wanted you on here. But yeah, I look forward to seeing you around.
Thank you.
No bother. Guys, it's been HEYITSMENESSER. Thanks for watching. This is Kelly Darcy. I'm going to put all her information in the descriptions and throughout the videos and stuff like that. So if there's any questions about anything she's spoken about today, if you're an artist or you're trying to get into music and you want to learn more, hop on her DMs and stuff. Hopefully she doesn't mind. But yeah, don't forget to like, share, subscribe as usual. Follow Nesser Pod on Instagram for all just YouTube channel podcast content related, and also follow HEYITSMENESSER obviously, and I will also put Kelly's socials there as well. So yeah, also Bella moved to Dublin today. She has been so annoying today, and yeah, I'm gonna try to figure that out. But yeah, thanks Kelly.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.